अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है.
A weird marketing campaign. Hundreds of podcasts later, here we are. Sitaare Zameen Par, which presents itself as a spiritual sequel to Taare Zameen Par and an official adaptation of Campeons, which is a Spanish 2018 sports film. Now, first of all, I haven't watched both the films, the Spanish original as well as there was a Hollywood remake as well, which released in 2023. So when I went to the theatres, I went with a complete fresh perspective. Story is pretty simple. It presents 10 specially abled children and their basketball coach played by Aamir Khan. So let's talk about what really worked in the film. What really worked, first of all, are the 10 sitaras. The 10 actors who have played those 10 characters in this film. First of all, they are not trained actors. So it takes a massive courage to play something that they have faced in their own life or they are facing every day. There is such wholesomeness in their roles and the way that they have bonded with Gulshan in this film, it really connects you on a personal level. The second biggest advantage of this film is comedy. Now we have seen that over the last couple of years there has been a massive downfall of good comedy films in Bollywood especially. Now on this film, it is specifically a situational comedy which really makes you laugh. It really connects at your heartstrings and the comedy is such which is not cringe. There is no over dependency of cringe jokes or WhatsApp forwards that we have seen over the last couple of years. And the thing is, the situational comedy is in such a way that you don't laugh out loud as well, but you feel a sense of happiness when you are watching those scenes. So comedy really worked brilliantly. The comedy is light-hearted and hence it can connect to a broader audience as well. The third positive of this film is Dolly Ahluwalia, who has played the mother of Aamir Khan or Gulshan's character. There is a banter that she has with Aamir Khan's Gulshan, which is so funny. And the meta joke which we saw in the trailer as well, that she calls her Tingu because of his, because of his height, that really gives us a couple of chuckles and it is really a sight to see on at a packed theatre. Unfortunately, I didn't have a packed theatre. I will come to that later on in this video. But it is really funny. And the relationship that she shares with Aamir Khan or Gulshan in this film, that acts as a massive tentpole in this. And the small positive is the cinematography and the lighting. I don't know how many of you will notice or not, but if you go to the theatre especially, you will notice that at no point of time in the film, you will see that there is a light which is almost like a beam of ray which is going on the characters. So on that, you will feel that there is it something which is giving a kind of a melancholic tone? I really don't know. Or was it really a creative decision? I don't know, but it really worked well. Now let's talk about some things which we really I have a problem with. First of all, this film has been marketed as a spiritual sequel to Taare Zameen Par. Now, of course, from the first teaser, the first trailer itself, we knew that this is not of the level or this is not, it doesn't seem to be that it is going on the same tone as Taare Zameen Par, right? But then why was it marketed as the spiritual sequel of Taare Zameen Par? If you are marketing it in such a way, then comparisons are obviously going to be there. Taare Zameen Par had this brilliant quality of drawing you into a scene, and there were scenes which really sometimes haunted you. There were scenes which really made you cry. There was a relatability factor to Taare Zameen Par which is completely missing from this film. First of all, a story of a kid or Darshil or Ishan Avasti in Taare Zameen Par is a lot more universal subject. Story of 10 misfits, that kind of story does not relate to a larger spectrum of the audience like a kid's story does. We have seen similar things in films like Bajrangi Bhaijaan as well, right? Take away Munnis' character from Bajrangi Bhaijaan and you will see that the relatability of the quality of that film drops a couple of notches. So this is one of the things. So if we compare it to Taare Zameen Par, it is not at all at the same level. If I put Taare Zameen Par over here, then Sitaare Zameen Par would be kind of like here. It is, you cannot even compare it. Second of all, I have got massive pacing issues with this film. The first 30 minutes of this film, where they are setting up the story, that I found it pretty boring. I really didn't connect to it at all. The comedy seemed cringe. The dialogue seemed weird. Aamir Khan's tone, which I'll come to later. Another thing which didn't work at all are the songs. The trio of Shankar, Ehsaan Loy worked on Taare Zameen Par as well. But over here, the songs are pretty much functional, but there are absolutely no songs at all that you remember after you have left the theatre. 15 minutes after you have left the theatre, you have forgotten the songs already. So the music is a massive letdown for me, and I really expected better. When I reviewed the trailer a couple of months back, I was expecting that there was some kind of freshness that I will get from Shankar Mahadevan and the trio of Shankar, Ehsaan Loy. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So none of the songs, even there is an Arijit song as well, but it is as functional as it can be in the narrative. And the songs, to be honest, they didn't help or they didn't take the narrative forward at all. They're just functional. There is this weird arc of Gulshan's mother having an affair with their cook, played by Vijender Kala. That entire narrative has only been created for some comedy gags, and I don't think it really added anything to the narrative, to be very honest. Like, it only slowed down the story in the second half, and the focus seemed to be a bit lost. So I don't think that entire sequence was complete. It could have been easily chopped off in the edit as well. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Aamir Khan. So Aamir Khan has been going through a weird phase. After more than 30 to 35 years in the industry, maybe this is the first time in the history that he is being questioned about his acting prowess in the last couple of years, especially after a film like Laal Singh Chaddha. Over here, there are a couple of scenes where he's very good, especially in the dramatic scenes. Now, Aamir Khan has this knack of making even the weirdest of characters seem humane, right? Here, his Gulshan is a Delhiwala brash, and he has kind of like a stoic presence to him. Now, the problem is, in every scene of his, whether he's laughing, whether he's crying, whether he's having an emotional scene, on every scene, there is this weird thing that Aamir Khan does with his eyebrows, which seemed reminiscent to the days of PK as well, once again. There is this similarity that I found with The Rock from WWE, who had that weird gag about his eyebrows that he used to raise it. Weird thing that Aamir Khan does with his eyebrows, like even in the most emotional scenes, he does something like this with his eyebrows. When it does those kind of mannerisms, it really takes you out of the character. The same problem happened with Laal Singh Chaddha as well, which we all saw. The biggest criticism of Laal Singh Chaddha was Aamir Khan's performance itself as Lal. Unfortunately, it's the same problem that I see over here as well. Of course, it's not that bad like it was in Laal Singh Chaddha, but here as well, Aamir Khan over the last couple of years, it seems that whenever he's portraying any kind of characters like this, he is still reminiscent to the characters of PK or Secret Superstar, and there are shades that you can clearly see from those characters. And his mannerisms, the entire film is going on a different tone, and when he is doing those scenes and where he is the protagonist, right, the character, however it is written, the tone of this film is a bit subtle. However, whenever he comes on the screen, weird sense of enthusiasm which was not required in this film. Let's say there is a scene of confusion, he does this. Let's say there is a sad scene, he does this. This is kind of weird. He could have kept it very subtle, and I don't know what is happening, because we used to see brilliant performances in humane roles as well from Aamir Khan in the days of Rang De Basanti, in the days of Sarfarosh. Sarfarosh really reminded me of the massive or the brilliant actor that Aamir Khan was and has been over the years. His dramatic scenes were so good, but over the last few years, I don't know what has happened. It is really that he is not understanding the tone of the character specifically according to that film. So Aamir Khan, unfortunately, is once again the biggest letdown. It's not as bad as Laal Singh Chaddha, but of course, it's still something which is kind of like an eyesore as well. Now, kudos to him for choosing a film like this, and kudos to him for choosing a character which is not perfect as well. Like, Aamir Khan's character, his Gulshan, is not really a likable character in this film. You will not like him. Over the course of the film, of course, you will get connected to him. And there is this beautiful narrative on this film where on Taare Zameen Par, he was the teacher teaching Ishant, right? Now, over here, as the film progresses, you understand that he is actually the student in this film, and the Sitaras, the 10 Sitaras, are the ones who are teachers who are teaching a beautiful lesson of life to him. So this is a brilliant quality. However, Aamir Khan's performance on this film should have been better. I expected a lot more from an actor of Aamir Khan's caliber. There is also this thing with Genelia D'Souza. So Genelia plays Aamir Khan's wife in this film. Their chemistry, to be very honest, it didn't quite work for me. It was really good to see Genelia D'Souza after such a long time. Their character arcs are a bit topsy-turvy. Like, there is a certain amount of tension that you see from the start of the film towards the end itself. However, their character arc, to be very honest, and their relationship arc in this film doesn't really go anywhere. And to be very honest, there are certain scenes of Genelia and Aamir Khan which almost felt like a stage play. And specifically because both the actors, it seems that they are dialing up their dialogues up a notch, which didn't really feel subtle over here. Honest, their chemistry didn't quite work for me. So this was really a subject that needed to be told and a film that really needed to be made, because it is very relevant to India as well. On a study conducted, it was found out that over 75% of patients with ADHD and children with special abilities do not go to schools as well. And this is clearly because of lack of awareness as well. So this is a story that really needed to be told. However, for a subject as sensitive as this, I really think this needed a better film and an original film at that.